So you have a manager that won't leave you alone. Stay tuned for my tips. Hey folks, this is Kim. Welcome to LiveMoreNow.net. It can be very difficult to get any work done if you have a manager who's constantly hovering over your shoulders or critiquing your work. So what are some of the reasons why this might happen? Many times managers can feel anxious, especially those who are new to their role, and not really realize how this is impacting their subordinates. This can be particularly frustrating for employees, especially if you love the work that you're doing and the company that you work for, because how are you supposed to handle this? It's not like you can tell your manager that you think that they're not very good at their job. So today I've got the 3 most common reasons why this happens and some hints on how to help you manage your manager. Starting with number 1, they're beginning to feel disconnected. Oftentimes managers can feel disconnected from the day-to-day goings-on at the company or just the work of the organization. One of the ways to help remedy the situation is to provide updates, feedback, or any reports that you can to your manager proactively. I would recommend trying to schedule a weekly meeting with your manager where you can provide a recap on what you've been doing for the week and how things are going. Number 2, they are having a difficult time letting go. This can be a super big deal for people, especially those who used to hold the position that you currently fulfill. They may have a very difficult time in tolerating the fact that you might do things slightly differently. They may believe that their way is the best way, or even worse, the only way, especially if they were successful in their position. So if this is the case, I would recommend soliciting your manager's input. This will help them relax a little bit if they can see that you value their insight and expertise. Number 3, lack of trust. This is probably the most common reason that I found for micromanagers. Unfortunately, managers are humans too, and everybody brings their own weaknesses to the table. And for some people, trust doesn't come naturally or automatically. Now, if you believe this is the case, you might want to start by taking an honest inventory of your performance lately. If you've been phoning it in or you've missed a deadline, the remedy here might be to just put your nose to the grindstone and get to work. If this is the case, you might even want to talk to your manager, let them know that you realize that your performance has been somewhat subpar as of late and you're working to improve that. Now, assuming that that's not the case, the best thing that you can do here is to try to develop a relationship with your manager. Try to spend some time communicating with them, perhaps share some personal details about yourself, but you don't want to get too deep there. Nobody needs to hear the gory details about your personal life. But if you take advantage of any opportunities to socialize outside of the workplace, developing that long-term relationship will help naturally build some of that trust. Now, folks, none of these tips are quick fixes or magic bullets. Unfortunately, some people just need to build that long-term relationship before they realize that you are a good worker and that you deserve to be left alone to do your job. Now, obviously, if things become downright toxic, you might want to visit HR to see if they have any advice for the best way for you to handle it. Perhaps look for another opening within the company. Perhaps you can transfer to another department. Or worst case scenario, you might need to begin the job search. Now, hopefully that's not the case for you, but if it is, I have several other videos on how to help you manage that job search process. Now, I'd love to hear from any of you on your personal experiences with your micromanager and perhaps any ideas that you utilize to help improve the situation. Please click subscribe to receive any updates. Thank you so much for visiting LiveMoreNow.net.